Welcome to another episode of D Freaks and Geeks, the unedited and unfiltered gaming podcast that's more fun than watching your team in the Super Bowl. Talk about pressure. I'm your host, David, aka D Freak.
I'm Pat, aka Bloodbath17.
And I am Matt, aka Spiteful Toast.
I say that now, but if the Jets ever made the Super Bowl, I wouldn't even care if they lost.
No,
because they just have to
lose.
Yeah, but just make it. Just make it once for me, please. This week, we have another interview. We have BakeandCake, another great interview with a Twitch streamer. She's mostly a Valorant player. I guess really only a Valorant player. But we liked everything that she did is great. We love the conversation. Yeah, we love what she's doing. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy. This week's guest, we have BakeandCake, a Twitch streamer from the Great White North. BakeandCake, how are you doing today?
I am doing amazing. How are you guys today?
We're doing great. So, there's a lot of things I want to touch upon, but the main thing is I noticed that you play Valorant.
I do.
So, are you a Counter-Strike player?
Absolutely not.
No?
My gaming parkour, if we can say it that way. I started playing when I was 17. I started playing League of Legends. That was my first game, my first love. I absolutely adored that game. Then for a little while, I did switch to Fortnite, and that's when I first dipped my toes into streaming. And it was really bad. I was just playing with my headset microphone. It sounded like I was playing from a can. It was not good. I did go back to League of Legends for a while. Then I tried Apex. Not for me. Averaging 6 damage a game, not ideal. And then some friends were like, "You should really try Valorant. It's really, really fun." And I said, "Oh God, all right, here we go." And I tried it, and I actually really did like it. And I've been playing it ever since, and that's the main game I play when I stream.
Every time I see that game, I'm like, this is Counter-Strike. Like, this is, if they put some abilities in Counter-Strike, because Counter-Strike, I think, so Matt and I are brothers, and growing up, I think Counter-Strike was like one of the first games we've ever played. Yeah. That game has been around for forever. Which, by the way, little weird, thing of knowledge for everybody. Counter-Strike just broke its concurrent player base like 2 days ago.
Oh, shit.
So that game is still growing. They had like 1.4 million people playing at the same time.
That's wild.
Jesus Christ.
I think it's a lot of European players. I think it's big in Europe. I think people over there are still, like, they still have a huge... It's not like it's not big in America, but I think for the most part, I think it's huge over in Europe and maybe like the Spanish-speaking countries. I think they still are really big into it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a little thing of knowledge that I thought I'd throw out there. So, what do you like so much about because League of Legends, it's really difficult because the 3 games that you just said, so I've never really played, right? League of Legends, I know is just that's probably, I would say, the most popular game in the world. Or it's Dota 2, something along those lines. Fortnite is like a huge change from that.
Yeah.
And then Valorant is a huge change from that.
Yeah.
So why Valorant? What makes it because I think that's all you stream, right? You only stream Valorant?
I only stream Valorant. I do occasionally play Overwatch. I forgot to mention that one. I do play Overwatch sometimes. But that's just occasionally because I kind of tunnel vision my games. Like, I get really obsessed with one. And then to me, playing any other game is just kind of a waste of time because I'm like, I could be playing this other game that I actually really like instead of trying out another one. But Valorant, for me, I just like that you have both the abilities and the shooting, because my shooting is questionable sometimes.
Same.
And I feel like it's a nice mix between the games that I like, because see, in League of Legends, your performance is based on your abilities, right? That's pretty much, you have your basic attacks, but they don't do much. Like, you have to rely on your abilities and
timing of abilities, right? It's all about
exactly.
Like, I gotta hit this here, and then this I'm saving for the tower, I guess you would call it.
And then you buy your items to kind of help you along the way, depending on how you're doing and everything. So in Valorant, I do like that you have the combination of the two, because it kind of bridges the two games that I like the most, which was League of Legends and then Fortnite. And Fortnite's pretty much just, well, when I was playing it, it was basically just shooting. Now there's like a bajillion different items that do God knows what. I've kind of lost track.
Now, when you played Fortnite, you were playing build Fortnite, right? There were no.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The no build,
nightmare.
the no build was not a thing yet,
Yeah.
and then that's kind of part of the reason why I stopped playing it, because I never got to a point where I could keep up with every other player when they were building. Like I was building my little box, and then they were already like 7 stories up, and I was like, okay, sweet, and I would get just clapped every single time.
It's way too confusing. It's too many buttons you got to worry about, and then you got to worry about, and it's not even like normal for shooters where it's like, okay, I got to just kind of track where he's going. Like, you're in just a bunch of boxes with different materials, and you have to like listen for this person. He's like, oh yeah, he's up this way, and he's above me, he's below me. I'm like, I have no idea what's happening, so I'm just gonna sit here in my little safe space, and I'm not.
All of a sudden, they're 7 stories up, and then they're right behind you with a shotgun. It's like,
oh yeah,
I lost. I lost.
I'm completely lost, and it was a really fun game. Like, I actually really liked the battle royale, and I kind of had a lot of hopes for Apex because of that. But the thing, it's for me, Apex is such a big map, and I can't do the, oh my god, they're over there, and they're a pixel in the distance, and I'm like, you mean to tell me I'm supposed to see that?
Yeah.
So
and then you go over there. Yeah. Meanwhile, you get killed by 4 other teams on the way over there, and then
exactly
game over.
Yeah, you spend 10 minutes looting, trying to find people. You run into one team, and then you're just dead before you even know. And you're like, wow. I really had a lot of fun. I did looting simulator for 15 minutes, and I get to do it again.
It's fantastic. No, I really do like the community that is part of Valorant. I've played like a lot of games. Like I said, I've been playing online video games ever since I was 17. I'm now 25. So I've been around a little while, and I've seen the toxicity. I've seen how people will just completely, especially as a woman in gaming. You guys are aware of what that can look like sometimes.
I was just gonna say that. I didn't want to bring it up. I waited for you to bring it up, but like. Is it that, like, I see videos online, but is it that much worse? Like, if you're playing in, like, a random lobby, like and then all of a sudden you're, like, just trying to say, like, hey, I'm fucking going over here. Are they all like, oh my god, girl gamer?
That used to happen a whole lot more when I played Fortnite, surprisingly. Like, the one that shocked me the most, and it kind of made me sad a little bit, not because what they said affected me, but just because it came from who it came from. There's this kid in my game, and he couldn't have been older than 10. Like,
yeah. I was gonna say Fortnite is a much younger. Yeah, back in the day,
he couldn't have been older than 10. And then I said, "Oh, hi," because I like to just kind of initiate the conversation. I like to say, "Hi, how's everyone doing tonight?" and all that stuff. And
Canada.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's the Canadian in you.
It tracks. And that kid was like, I was like, yo, like, what's up, bitch? Can I see your boobs? And I was like, I'm old enough to be your babysitter, first of all.
Oh my god.
And he just kept going the whole game. Like, I want you to shake your ass and all that stuff. I was like, you are like 8. You are a child. And that just
so where is, like, I never understood that, because they're like, show your boobs. It's like, if I did it right now, you're not, like,
you're not there.
There's no camera anywhere, dude. You're just being an idiot.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said it made me sad, just because it came from such a young child. And I was like, that's, the influence of playing online video games at such a young age. Like, I'm not against it at all, but there's just people that play the game that are not necessarily the best influence on kids, and that just made me a little sad. But how many times I got the, can I get your snap? Way too many times.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh yes, of course I'm gonna give you my Snapchat. I'm not gonna get any weird pictures for sure. For sure.
I can only imagine if the good thing you didn't. That's all I'm saying. People are fucking gross.
Thank you. No thank you. I'll pass.
Also, it's funny how that's what these people think, that you're like, that's the whole reason why you're playing video games, is to It's like
to give my snap away and
it's
just
like
shake my
Tinder
ass
for you. It has nothing to do with like you want to just play video games. It's like, let me go find random guys in Valorant lobbies and give my Snapchat away because why not?
Which sucks because you're just doing what everyone else is trying to do, and you're just trying to have fun. It has nothing to do with anything else, and
it's just the fact that you're a female. All of a sudden, it's somehow a negative thing. I don't know why, but it is. It's like.
But I bet you I know what it helped with. It probably helped with Twitch streaming because it gives you that thick skin.
Well, and that's exactly it, right? Because when I find the community in Valorant is very, very is much more welcoming than any other community that I have been a part of because of the game that I played. There are so many women playing the game, and I find it so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
like, it really is. The amount of times like I join a lobby, and like I say, I always initiate the conversation. And the girls, and again, it's a little sad because the girls find such a relief when I say hi because they're like, oh, "There's another girl on my team. There's someone to back me up." Because it's
not about to get real fucking creepy, real fucking quick.
No, and it's happened many times that because I said hi, they started talking, and after the game, they'll message me and they were like, "I only talk because you talked." I was like, they stay quiet until they kind of get a feel of the guys in the team because it might be a good community, but there are still some guys. Like one time, and they were voice chat banned, and so they were that one person was trying to get me to join their party so they could talk to me, and they kept spamming it, and I was like, worst case, content. I said, so I joined their conversation. The second I joined, they were like, "I'm gonna when you have a kid, I'm gonna find wherever it is they go for school, and I'm gonna shoot up the school." And I was like,
"What?"
Yeah. And again, that kid could not have been older than like 14. And I was in the party with a bunch of it was me, my duo, and then these 3 guys were together. And they were only spamming me because obviously I keep commenting in the game.
Yeah.
And they were only spamming me and not my friend for me. And he was also commenting, so they knew he had a mic too, but they were only spamming me. And I was like, cool. Anyways, clipped. And I was like, I have people that work for Riot, so I'll just send that to them, and they were banned afterwards. But it's just some shit like that it does not happen all the time.
Yeah.
But when it happens, it's like, oh, that's still a thing. Okay.
That's wild. And that's way worse than I ever thought. I thought it was going to be like, show me your boobs. I didn't know they were talking about killing people.
Oh, no.
Killing your unborn child.
Oh, yeah. And, or sometimes it's just joining a lobby, and then I say, hi, everybody. How's everyone doing? And they're like, oh, my fucking God, bitch, shut the fuck up. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh wait,
that's what I hear more often.
To be fair, they say that to me too. So,
oh yeah, no, for sure. And or you play comp and you say hi, and they're like, "Oh, GG's, we lost. There's a woman in our team." Like that happens a lot. And the thing, like you guys said,
but that's when you hit an ace and you just go fucking bananas.
You try
exactly.
No, that's when I start playing out of spite, and that's usually when I do bad. Because I'm like, fuck that guy. I'm gonna get more kills than him. But no, and that's like you said. I've been playing playing video games for such a long time, and it just kind of rubs off of me like water on a duck's back.
Yeah,
like to me, it doesn't get to me anymore. I'm just like, okay. I mean, that's more telling of you than it is of me, and I kind of like to be that person also for the other.
Well, let's put it this way: they're not original. So, you're not hearing new things every day. You're hearing the same shit you've heard for 8 years. There's nothing changed.
Too. If you're gonna be a bitch and try to attack me, please at least try to be original.
Yeah.
If it's the same old, I'm bored.
If I can guess what you're saying,
at least.
Or if you've heard it 1,000 times before, it's like it rolls off your shoulder. You're like
it still won't affect me, but at least I'll be like, damn, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that one.
Like, jot that one creativity. Down. No, but
it's
to get
easy.
him with the go to the kitchen, make me a sandwich. Okay, babes, that was like a thing.
Oh my
10 years ago. Like, come on.
That was funny in the 90s. A little.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was barely
like,
funny back then. So
Jesus
but I do like to be, because it doesn't get to me. I do like to be that person that tries to make. I mean, I can't affect everybody, but I try to be that person that makes the game more welcoming to other women that are trying to join the game, because there are so many, and I've seen too many conversation of people that are like, I would love to play the game, but I'm just so scared. Like I've seen clips of people being absolute assholes to women on the game, and so if there's me and there's another woman in my team, and some guy tries to like get an attitude with us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You're there guns blazing. You're there guns blazing. Oh, yeah.
I'm clapping back, and I'm not just gonna sit there and be like, oh well, I guess we have to take it. No.
You're taking on the mama bear of Valorant.
I'm maybe Canadian, but when it's time, I can be mean.
No, it's actually, because it is really funny that you say it's. I guess it's not funny. It's kind of sad, but like it's interesting that you said that, because I didn't know that a lot. Like I didn't know that Valorant was like filled with, like, I didn't know that was a big game with women. I didn't know that, you know what I mean? Like you don't hear about it, and you hear about like Animal Crossing and The Sims and like all of these
single player games.
Yeah.
But like I don't know what game like women really like to play. It's because they're kind of shunned to being quiet, otherwise they get shit on the whole time, which really sucks, cuz like let's think about it this way, and this is one of the questions I wanted to ask you because you've been playing for a while now. Valorant competitive is becoming like a bigger thing, right? Because again, it's very much like Counter-Strike. I always said it's like Counter-Strike and Overwatch had sex and made a baby, and you got Valorant.
Honestly,
pretty much. So you're like two really popular shooter games and two games that have a pretty big following. Now, there's not a lot of professional women gamers in any sport.
No, but actually, Valorant, I forget the name of it, but they had this all-woman competition, and it was really awesome to see, because there was a lot of people watching, a lot of people attending, and it just felt so good, because again, like when I was younger, I was like, maybe I could be like a professional gamer or something when I was playing League of Legends, but then there weren't that many women in the scene.
Good luck with League of Legends.
Oh my God.
No. Good luck going professional in that game, no matter who you are. Yeah.
No, I was young and hopeful, and now I see the professionals. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. Now, is that still a goal of yours? I guess that would be my major question. Do you have any, like, because I'm not great at games, but like if I was to go professional, that would be fucking awesome.
It's not a goal of mine, just because I don't see myself like rivaling the current players. Like I don't see myself being good and ever good enough to get to that point. But I'm more so, and people in my community can attest, I always say, you play video games, it's a game. You're supposed to have fun.
Tell everybody else that, because
well, and that's what I'm trying to push. Like, there will always be people, and sometimes it's just said jokingly, but people who just say, I fucking hate that game. I'm like, you can pick another one.
Yeah,
I get that sometimes that's what your friends are playing, but to me, playing video, and that's I'll play comp in Valorant, and I just don't get mad. And people are like, I don't understand how you can lose like 3 games in a row and just be so calm. I'm like, I'm having fun.
So what we need to do, this is perfect. What we need to do is we need to set up a therapy session once a week between you and Pat, because if we can get Pat there, that would be wonderful.
And like, don't get me wrong, I am competitive and I love winning, but like just any other game, you'll win some, you'll lose some. Nobody will have like a perfect record of just never losing. And so to me, it's like sometimes the other team is just better, and that's just the way it is. They're just better, and there's nothing I can do about it.
I realize that when I play Apex.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Matt! You're so much better than everybody else in Apex.
No.
You go against like 3 people that are better than you a day.
No. I mean more. I meant more as like I just now I'm at the point where I have fun with the game. Yes, I happen to be good at the game, but like instead of worrying about, oh fuck, I died and I'm so bad and I'm like pissed off. Now it's just like sometimes I'll die and I'm like, oh I'm like, yo, that guy just shit on me really
yeah.
bad. Like, you kind of have to give props to the other people, and like you realize, like when you do it that way, like you kind of do have more fun.
Oh yeah.
Because then, like, you're not worried too much about your own performance. You're not nitpicking every little thing that you do wrong. It's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, if
And
I get a great kill, it's gonna feel awesome. If I do shitty, whatever, it is what it is.
And that's, I mean, just to circle back to the question you asked earlier, that's another reason why I like Valorant. It's because all the rounds, it happens so fast. So even if you did bad in the first couple rounds, you can always just come back. Not like, Fortnite, you get killed.
It's over.
The game's over.
Yeah.
You don't have a chance. That one game, over. And I do like that in Valorant. It's kind of split in a couple rounds.
How many rounds are in a Valorant game? Is it best out of 5?
So the in unrated and comp, how it works is it's first to 13. So
first to 13 wins?
Yes. Yeah. Well, there are more than 13 rounds. So you have
that's a long ass game.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can, and sometimes it goes in overtime because in comp, if you need to have like a 2-point difference to win. So even if it's 12-12 and the other team wins, there's still another couple more rounds.
Yeah. It's win by 2. Now, how is the cheating in Valorant? Is it horrible?
I have only come across 2 people that cheat, and I stream for like at the very minimum 3 hours each weeknight. And I haven't really like, sometimes you'll be like, sometimes you get suspicious because some people are just like really good at the game. They can just tap your head and it looks suspicious, but you're like, it's not odd.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's like smokes all over the place and you just step a pixel out of the wall and then you get one shotted and you just die there, and they had no vision on you and you're like,
Yeah,
that's a little odd.
our multiplayer games, Matt plays Apex, and me and Pat play Call of Duty, and the cheating there is like so bad. I mean, that's awesome to hear that you don't run into. I feel like I run into 15 cheaters a day.
Oh no, that's so not the case. At least not at my level. I don't know. Maybe in higher elo, maybe. But where I am, I peaked gold 2 for those who know what that what that entails. It's like
good.
It's very middle ground. Okay. And I don't see a lot of people cheating. What I do see though, it's people smurfing. That happens a lot. Like
that's a huge problem in Apex.
Yeah.
It's a huge problem in Apex.
Is Valorant free?
Yes, it is.
It's a fucking as great as it sounds,
but it is free. But,
as great as free game sounds, I don't think they thought about the fact of people.
Well, when it's free and it's competitive, that's where the issue becomes.
Yeah,
if the game's free, it's whatever. But when it becomes a competitive aspect, that's where the smurf problem becomes.
You log into a game and then you see in the enemy team it's a level 2 jet, and you're like, oh, okay, well here it goes.
And you're like, okay, this is either going to be an actual level 2. Or it's going to be somebody who is not actually level 2.
Like Immortals or Radiant.
And then they come through it. They just run through the site, killing everyone. You're like,
oh yeah. God. And it just doesn't make it fun for the rest of us. I mean, their team is having a blast. Their team is like, run. Go forth, my child. Guy. Kill them all.
Yeah. But they know it's a free win. They're like, I don't have to do anything. This guy's going to kill everyone.
And 9 times out of 10, what do they have in front of their name or after their name?
Sorry?
I said 9 times out of 10, what do they have in front of their name or after their name? TTV.
You know what they have though? They blog their name. They go in streamer mode, and it's just you don't see the name.
Oh, so yeah. Okay, so level 2, no name.
Yeah,
you got a problem.
Usually a jet. And the thing is, there's also a lot of people. Yeah, there's a Smurf accounts, but there's people that will purposefully throw the game just so they get placed lower, and they can just stay in that elo and just mow them down. Like, yeah, you got an ace, but like, was it really an ace?
I can't imagine that being fun. Like, you have to sit there and purposely lose a game for 30-40 minutes just to play a game where you can destroy people. Like,
how it works in Valorant is you do start with like your basic guns, and then as you win or lose rounds, you do get a little bit of money each round, and then you can upgrade your gun. But they will stick to the little basic pistol, like just a classic, and they will just run with that the whole game, not buy shield, no nothing. So they'll purposefully just kind of throw the game that way, not buy guns, and then they'll just kind of sit and spawn or just run it down mid, and then they just die there, and then they get placed bronze when they should be like a radiant or something, and then they just kind of shit on everybody there.
That goes back to exactly what you said before. It's not about fun for them. It's about stats or content but meanwhile, like content
That's the big one.
we always talk about it here, and a lot of streamers that we talk to, there's a fine line between good gameplay and good entertainment, right? It's not just gameplay, because if you're watching someone and they're just smurfing to get kills, you might watch them for their couple of aces, but you're not going to be a fan of theirs forever, because half the time you're like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not even really playing the game. So no, I think they're just trying to get those followers for I don't know, I don't, for clout. But who's your character, and are you I don't care who I play with, whoever's open, or do you have your main?
Ever since I got into online gaming, I was always, I can hear people say, "Oh my god, it's so typical." Blah, blah, blah. I love to play healers. Okay, don't there's always that stereotype. Women always play healers. You're correct for me, but it's not everybody. And I just really like to play healers. I don't know what it is. Like when I was playing League of Legends, I was support. In Fortnite, when I was playing with friends, it's not really a support role, but I was always carrying the med kits
heals
and all that. Yeah, the heals and all that stuff. And now again with Valorant, I love to play Sage. She's my main. I play pretty much only her. Unless my chat decides to redeem the channel point rewards, where they pick my agent, and they usually pick the worst one for me. But yeah, I do play Sage quite a bit. I've always loved to play healers, but it's not because I play the healer that I don't get kills. And I especially in the past couple of months, I've gotten better at the game, and I've been pretty consistently top fragging. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Nothing's better than fucking killing it in a multiplayer game. There's no better feeling that when afterwards you're like 14-2 and you're like, that might have been the most fun I've ever had in my entire life.
Oh yeah.
And then the next game you go 3-30, and then it goes, and then
and then the guy that was bad mouthing me at the start of the game, all of a sudden very quiet.
Oh yeah.
That's the best.
You've been playing games for 8 years, right?
Hold on, let me do math.
17 plus 7 is 24, plus 1 is 25.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's a weird way.
That's how I do math, man. It's super fucking weird. But
Major himself, this is how he does when he went to college for math.
I've always kind of liked video games, but at 17 is where I started playing like multiplayer online games.
Okay, so you've been playing you've gone through the Super Mario Brothers and the.
I was a portable console, so I had my Game Boy, I had my Game Boy Advance, and I had my Nintendo DS.
Yeah,
and then I had a Wii. I had an Xbox for 2 months, and then I was like, I don't like this. I sold it. I cannot play with a controller. I don't know what it is. It is not engraved in my brain which button does what. They're like, press X, I don't fucking know. And I'm like, which one is that? And I have to look down, and I'm like, okay, this one. I never fully registered which button was where and what did what. Like,
especially coming from Nintendo, because I don't understand, but X is not X in Nintendo. X is the main button in Nintendo, right? So I remember going from Nintendo to Xbox. You're like, oh, X, and I'm hitting A constantly. It doesn't make any. It's like a mental block. But I always tell Pat that he doesn't understand. Where he'll be like, let's play PUBG on Xbox, and I'm like, I can't aim on a controller to save my fucking life. Aim assist, I don't even think it really exists because it doesn't work for me.
It does exist, trust me.
No, I'm a big mouse and keyboard girl. That to me makes sense. The controller to me it's just nonsense.
See,
sister.
I look at my boyfriend playing NHL and like I'm sitting next to him and I'm just like staring at his fingers and I'm like, how the fuck?
That was the most Canadian thing you've ever said.
I tried playing NHL on his PlayStation. I'm just like, what the actual fuck? Like, I was playing against bots and I lost. Like, it was just bad.
Yeah.
Like, bad.
Well, in that game, like, they make it seem like it's just hockey, but there's, like,
it's not easy.
million things you could do.
Oh, yeah. He'll change, like, the lineups and like, I'm like, where do you even go for that?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
But so you've been a gamer essentially your whole life, right? And then you're just kind of gotten more and more serious about it. And then in the past year, 1 year anniversary coming up. Woo,
yeah, on the 17th.
And I'm guessing like your boyfriend plays games, right? So it's kind of like a gaming not a gaming relationship. That's not what it's all built on. I hope not. But like, you engulf yourself kind of in gaming, right? But
yeah.
What made you want to go on Twitch? What made you want to start taking it a little more seriously instead of just, having fun, right? Because now we talk about fun and we talk about how gaming's all about fun. But when you do start streaming on Twitch, it does bring a different level of commitment to it. And I don't want to say it takes away from the fun because it adds a different layer of fun to it, but it's different, right?
It's different. Yeah, for sure. When I first got into online gaming, I was at the same time introduced because it was my boyfriend at the time, my first ever boyfriend, and he introduced me to gaming, and he also introduced me to Twitch. I did not know what Twitch was until that point, and then I just started getting really, really into it, and I was like, okay, like this is fun. Like I found different League of Legends streamers that I really did like, and I was like, and so I was in school. I went to, in Quebec, we have something called CEGEP. So it's like after I'm trying to adapt it to to grades because it's different a little bit. So you have 6 years of primary school, then you have 5 years of secondary school.
Mm-hmm.
You have those. You have a 2
Wait, say that again. You have 6 years
up to 11th.
Yeah, it's like up to grade 11.
Middle school.
No,
they don't have middle school. That's where I got confused. Okay.
So yeah, you have pretty much until grade 11. And then you have 2 years in between whatever happened the first 11 years. And between that and college, you have 2 years of CEGEP. So you just kind of, in those 2 years, you start specializing in whatever it is that you like. That's besides the point. But at that point, when I got into CEGEP, I had a lot of free time in between periods in different classes. And I would just kind of watch some streams in between classes while I waited, while I was studying, just have that in the background. And it was just such a big part of my schooling because it helped me. That's what I was doing while I was relaxing. It helped me take my mind off of all the stress, and I just really, really loved Twitch for that. And I got to discover new games through it. And those people that I was watching streaming just became such a big part of my schooling. And I was like, I would love to be that person for others.
Yeah.
Just because I loved it so much. I loved it so much, and I may not have the best gameplay, but I do think I can be entertaining. Not to toot my own horn, but I do think I can provide something.
A little here.
Yeah. Quality entertainment. What's up?
I have watched a couple of your streams, and I have to say, there's a lot of things that we talk about with the new streamers. Like one thing that's really fucking hard to do that they don't tell you what's hard to do is just talking to no one, right? Yeah. But constantly talking. I think you do a tremendous job of that. You do a very good job of kind of not talking through what you're doing, but when you do something, you engage chat, and that's not easy to do. I mean, there are some trials and tribulations that you go through to get there. And
like I said, I was gonna say when I first started, I first dipped my toes into streaming 2 something years ago when the pandemic first hit. I was stuck at home. I was like, I've always wanted to try it. Let me just say fuck it, download OBS. I had no fucking clue. I was watching YouTube videos on how to start, and I was like, what the fuck? Bro?
It still makes no sense.
Oh, if anything breaks and I have a problem, like I'm fucked. I was like, I don't know what anything is. Yeah.
When Stream Elements breaks, what do I use? Stream Elements, I think that's what it's called. When that breaks, I move to Twitch Studio, and then when that breaks, I just move back, and then when that breaks, I don't know how to fix it. I just keep moving platforms.
And especially like I think with OBS, there's a lot of bugs that just happen with the new updates. And sometimes I have issues, and it's nothing I can really do because it's just a problem with the version. So I have to revert back to the other one. But for like a solid half an hour, I'm like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
What's wrong? I didn't touch anything. But no,
Nothing's
that's what
better
I was
than
saying.
when your stream is just you in a camera and a blank screen going, I don't really know what's wrong here. Everybody just hold on for a second. I'm going to end stream, start stream.
And stream,
start stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's happened a couple times, and I've had bad luck in the sense that most of the times I've had issues like that of the stream crashing, the camera not working, there's just nothing working. It's always when it was a special stream. So I wanted to do a special stream when I hit 500 followers. I had issues then, and then I another one when I hit 1,000, same thing, issues, and it just every time I've had a special stream, I'm like, I'm gonna log in and do a test run like half an hour before because I've had so many issues, and one time like I had to actually bring my computer in. Anyways, well,
of course you hype them up. Why would things go wrong? Because you're tweeting about it, you're throwing it on Instagram.
It's always the streams that I advertise for, and it's like something special is happening today, guys, and then just nothing works. I'm like, okay, I just look silly now. But to just kind of go back to what you were saying about like talking and keeping a conversation going with nobody. That was when I first started streaming. That was so hard. My sister is a little meanie that way. She would come to my room and be like, "You're talking to nobody," and I was like, "Okay, listen. First of all, rude." But at that point, it's true. Like I had a couple people just kind of pop in the stream in and out, but for a huge chunk, and I feel like that's what a lot of streamers struggle with. It's that first initial chunk of your streaming career where there's nobody. And there will be maybe like one or two people, and they'll have you lurking in the background, and you don't necessarily interact with the stream. Because like I'm thinking, even now, like when I'm streaming recently, I've been averaging like between like something around like 17 viewers, like average throughout my stream. So sometimes it'll be a little bit more, a little bit less.
Yeah.
But like from those, like say there's 20 people, there's
Wait,
3-4
that's
that
so modest. I was just on your page, and you had like 75 the other day.
Raids.
Yeah. No need to be modest here.
I'm talking like in a purely organic amount of viewers. Like on a regular day, it's between I would say it's between like 15 and 17, like consistently.
Yeah.
But am fortunate that I'm making a lot of friends in the industry, and they are generous enough to raid my stream. Hopefully, because they believe in what I do. Not because
hopefully it's because it's fun. I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not because nobody else was there. But I'm very fortunate that way, and I'm making connections, and it's absolutely awesome. Like I don't know if you guys, I don't want to name drop, but like I recently got a ride gun buddy from so Ride Gun Buddy, you guys don't really play Valorant, so I'll just so it's
you can name drop all you want. We're do it. Yeah.
So basically, you have your guns. You can have skins for the gun, but you can also have little buddies that is just basically a little charm that dangles off your gun. It has no purpose. It's just cute, and it's really nice.
Yeah.
But the rarest one you can get is a Ride Gun Buddy, because the only way you can receive it is if a Riot dev gives it to you. You can't win it. Shit. You can buy it.
Yeah.
It's just if you happen to be in a game with them and they thought you were nice, they can give one to you. Content creators that have like a nice positive impact on the game community, they often receive one. But that usually comes way further in a career. It's always the kind of stuff that you're like, oh, one day it'll maybe. But you never really think that day's gonna come, right? And I just so happened that Nat, who is a YouTuber, now streamer too, he is super big on YouTube for his Omegle videos, he can do a killer woman voice, and it's fucking freaky.
Wait, I might know who you're talking about.
So, anyways, Nat now plays
regardless.
Valorant mostly, and he plays Valorant mostly now, and he paired up with one of the right devs to just kind of find smaller streamers and just for Christmas give them a right gun buddy. And
that's fucking awesome.
And at that point, he had stopped by because he's also very big for supporting small streamers. He always just kind of he likes to follow a bunch of small streamers. At that point, before that video happened, he had stopped by my stream a couple times to say hi and kind of drop off of the game. But he just at some point he was just in my chat and he was like, "Want to hop into a game?" basically, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then I hop into the game. I see Riot Mikey, and I was like, "What's going on?" What's going on? So we play a Swift Play, which is like it's the same thing as a regular game in Valorant, but it's much shorter. I think it's first to 5.
It's almost like if there was like a quick game. Like yeah.
So just we play quick one, and then after the game, Mikey was like the right dev. He was like, "Oh, why don't you just look at your inventory quickly?" And the little buddy was there. So that was really awesome, and that was so validating. And he ended up making a video out of that whole segment, and I got a lot of traction from that, which was absolutely awesome.
That's free promotion. I mean, that's
And I keep saying that I have a horseshoe up my ass because yes, you can put out the best content you can on Twitch, but there's a lot of it that comes from, are you good at marketing yourself? And are you lucky?
Yeah.
Because you can put the best videos out there. You can put the best clips, the best TikToks, the best YouTube content. You still need that little bit of luck that people are going to find it.
Yeah.
You're going to need that little bit of luck that the algorithm's going to push it.
Yeah.
And so
you need one. That's the crazy thing about this time is you need one. We need one interview. You need one clip. You need one stream. And then all of a sudden you're going from 1,000 subscribers to 10, 20, 30.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I just feel like I've been really lucky that way. Like just through Twitter, just talking to people and they know another person and they know another person. And then they're like, "Oh, like I stopped by your streaming. I like what you do. You want to join a game?" And then it's like, "Oh, fuck. Yeah.
And that sounds like a lot of pressure a lot of the times.
Oh yeah. And it's amazing when it happens, but I still get that. I'm by all means, I'm not a big streamer. I'm very, very small. But I do aspire to just, if one day I could make this my full-time thing, I would love nothing more. But right now, I'm really doing it for fun and because I love it. And I'm seeing the whole thing as we'll see what happens. I'll keep doing what I love. I'll keep pushing and pushing out the content that I'm proud of. And if anything comes out of it, wonderful. But if this is as far as my career in streaming will go, then I'll be very content.
Now, what's your favorite part? Is your favorite part playing the games and reacting or whatever? Or are you a big community driven? You start to build those relationships with your community and really build that. And I mean, have people you have your day oneers, right?
My community, they all are a bunch of jerks. I'll tell you why. Nice, because they take so much fun in making me positively cry.
Yeah.
They will send the nicest, sweetest messages on stream, and I'm just like, "Bitch, what the fuck you say that?" Because like I said earlier, I really do want to make, because there's so much negativity in streaming, and you see like controversies left and right, and then you see streamers that build, and I mean, good for them. They build their platform on being super reactive and and just screaming and being like super like, "Oh, what the fuck, bro? This guy's cheating," and all that. You hear it a lot. Yeah. And I want to kind of show a different side of the streaming. I'm a very happy, positive person. I'm very bubbly in what I do. And people are like, it's such a breath of fresh air to just hop into a game and it's all just like, hee, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and like I don't want to talk shit about top streamers, but like we've said this in the past where it's like sometimes you'll get on a stream with somebody with like 20,000 views and there's just no reaction.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, and that because the thing is, there's different spheres to streaming. Some of them, their stream is based on performance, and some of them are so good. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Like I watch the streams and I'm just like there cross-armed and I'm like, how the fuck
Yeah.
they managed to do that? And it's just mind-blowing to me. But
like Dizzy, was Dizzy one of those? Dizzy's like, I think that's who I'm talking about. He was like that Apex. He was just like fucking unreal. He didn't have to say a goddamn thing.
Same thing with Asu. Asu's like the same way. Most of them, they do like these crazy things and they're just like, yeah, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
give me something, please. Like, react. Act like a normal person. You're not like this robot who does this all the time.
But that's the thing. Like, and there's just different type of content that's being put out, and that's what works for them, and that is amazing. But I couldn't do that because I usually suck at the game.
Yeah.
But I'll have my good games. I'll have my bad games. I can't strictly rely on my gameplay. And I'm also very chatty. When I moved, like I told you guys before we started the interview, I'm from Quebec. I moved to Alberta 2 years ago. So my friends and family are all over there. And so I don't have those friends that I can just hit up and be like, hey, like, you want to go do something tonight? And I compensate for that with playing video games and talking to people online, talking to my community. And I just get that connection that way. And I can't fucking shut up. I really can't.
Yeah.
It's just so, I just love to chat with my chat and just kind of talk with them. And yeah. I love that. And like I said, my chat's a bunch of assholes because they keep making me cry.
Good assholes.
Like, good assholes. They're just like, I was having a bad day and it's really cheering me up that I'm here, that just to see that you're so positive and bubbly, and it's just making my day a little bit better. And I always say stuff like that. And that kind of circles back to what I was saying earlier, that I wanted to be that person that for others, that person that I was aspiring to be on Twitch. I'm feeling like I'm getting there.
It must feel really good that what you set out to do, you're doing. It hasn't changed you. It hasn't changed you into a way that, like, this is what I wanted to be, but it kind of didn't work out. So now I'm diverting to somebody else, right?
No, and like some people, believe me, don't believe me. I don't do this because I'm like, I want to be super famous, popular, and I want to make a lot of money. That's not it.
Yeah.
For me, that was just that I always wanted to work in entertainment, and I just, like I said earlier, it's just those people that I was like, they are doing so much for me without even knowing, and I would love to be that person for someone else. And again, like I said, if this where I'm at right now is as far as I make it, and I know that I influence however much people in my chat are telling me that I'm making a difference in their life by just, putting out the content that I do, I would be very content if this is as far as I make it. Because I've had that impact for a couple people. Yeah.
Isn't that amazing where it's like, I'm just playing games. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's crazy that I made a difference in your day because it's good. That's good. Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted to do.
And we're living through such a fucking hard time, man. Like everybody's struggling in, different ways, and it's hard. And people, and that's another thing why I'm trying to make everybody in my teams feel comfortable, is people play video games to escape whatever hardships they're going through in life. And when you hop into a game and you have people saying, oh my God, you fucking suck, dude. Like, we're just here to play and have fun. Yeah. Why are you getting mad at pixels?
Yeah.
And I always say, like, especially in a multiplayer game, we are a team. If you start trash talking your own teammates, what's that going to do? You might as well try and just be positive, uplift your teammates, and, maybe that little boost of confidence that you're giving them by saying, hey, you know what, man, it's fine. You just whiffed a little bit. It happens. GG, go next, like, next round.
Unless it's your friend, then you can talk all the shit you want to talk. Because I am not that nice to Pat. I am not. That is not how I communicate with Pat.
Nope, not at all.
But that's the thing, because you know him. You know the dynamic that you can have. But when it's just strangers, you don't know what the fuck they're going through. And,
for sure.
They could have had the worst day of their lives and, like, let me just decompress, go play some video games and have fun. And as people just are absolute douche on the games. Like, it's like, come on, man. Can I catch a break?
You're not even in Call of Duty land.
Oh, that's why I never tried it. I never tried Call of Duty. I never will.
Good. Just to stay away from it.
First of all, I love it.
You will hear some reprehensible shit.
It's very fun, but it's very toxic. It's very notorious for the toxicity.
Call of Duty is really fun if you really don't give a shit, because like you can say one thing and then all of a sudden you can feel how mad they get, and it's just like you're just like, hey, like when we lose, I'll get on, I'll be like, good try, guys. Good try. Yeah. That was you didn't really. I'm not impressed, but they won. They will blow up and say the nastiest shit, and it's like I'm just trying to. Guess what I did? I did exactly what I want to do. I said something not mean, and I got you going.
Others.
Yeah, which probably isn't the best thing to do, but hey, whatever. It's all about having fun,
you
right?
Love
fun
talking shit, man. You love talking shit.
But sometimes less is more. You know what's really funny in all chat when they just type a question mark after they did a good play, just that little question mark. It's like, oh you bitch.
yeah. So Valorant, all streaming, right? Like you stream Valorant. Do you play anything other than Valorant? Like it's you and your boyfriend hanging out. Yeah, it's like he's playing NHL. Are you playing Valorant?
Yeah. like I said, I get so hyper focused on one game because I'm like, I love this game. And then trying another game to me like I said, it feels like a waste of time because I'm like, I should be playing Valorant right now.
Yeah.
I really love Valorant.
That works out.
Well, I have to ask because I played Valorant once or a couple times, but it's really hard.
Didn't you play it in the?
I played it when it was in the beta, but those games are so hard for me that you gotta like aim like down watch a corner and hope that you hit their head. I'm more like I'll shoot you in the body, but I can't aim for the head type of thing. But how are you not like hand shaking, super nervous when you're in like a 1v4-3? You know, when you're the last one alive on your team and you have like to defuse the bomb and kill like 3 other people. Because I got put in those situations, and you can see your team spectating you. I know anytime I got in those situations, I'm like, I have 4 people spectating me. I'm like, oh my god, my hands start clamming up.
You're so sweaty after the round. You're just like disgusting.
That like a normal round's like whatever, shit, fine. But those rounds take so much out of me. Like when I'm not, and like even if I win or if I lose, I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, thank God that's over.
Bold of you to assume that I'm not the same. I'm not the best player, but I know I'm very good at clutching around. Like if it's a 1v3, I get fucking nervous. Like my heart is just and my hands are shaking. I'm like, and my aim is super bad, and I have this bad habit of
starting to shake.
And then everybody's spectating you, and you're like, motherfucker. But
chat's like, don't choke.
Oh, you know what? I have an emote that's called Bacon Whiff, and it's basically just my Sage character with a stormtrooper mask because I don't hit my shots. But
that's a good one.
You know, chat, when I'm in a clutching situation, chat is just ready with that emote. They're just like, and they're just waiting to press it. But
they almost wait for those moments.
Yeah.
Oh, they
want you to fail. They want you to fail at that moment.
Yeah. I mean, whether I lose or whether I win it, chat's gonna be very happy because they can just either just be little dicks to me.
They can either roast you, or they could share the greatness.
Or they can cheer me on. Yeah, no, and they're just so incredibly supportive, and like it's wild. It's wild, especially ever since like in the past 2 months. Like I've had such I don't necessarily know how to say it, but like people have always supported me, but it's been like multiplied by 10 in the past couple of months, and I don't know what happened. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining.
Don't fuck it up.
But people, I don't want to jinx it. But people have been so supportive and so nice, and like they just like that we can, you know, laugh at my bad performances or just cheer on the good ones. Like those. I've been acing quite a bit more lately. I've been clutching a couple more rounds than I usually do. Like those 1v.
You don't sound like you suck.
No. I do. No, trust me, I have my days. Some days it's just like, wow, nobody can touch me. Like I'm hitting all of my shots, and some days it's like, ooh. What's going on here?
I'm feeling a little under the weather. The stream might be a little shorter than normal today.
Oh yeah, I'm just like, I'm a little tired today. I think my aim's
cold in my room. My hands are freezing.
Oh yeah, you just whip out all the excuses possible, but no, but like like you said, in those 1v3 situations, I am nervous, especially and again, just kind of going back on what we touched on earlier. I get nervous, because I'm the last one standing, but also because, and it's so dumb that I feel that way, but I feel like I'm representing women because it's like, oh, she's a girl, she won't be good at gaming, and then especially if you had guys chirping you before. You're like, I want to clutch this so bad, just because I don't want to be the stereotype of girls can't play video games. I don't want that to be the truth, but it's always at the back of my head.
The dudes can't do it either. They can't fucking clutch like that. They can't. I know I can't fucking clutch like that.
No, and what happened is they clutched up once.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of their life, they're the king. Like, they're the best at that game.
Yeah.
No, but that's the thing. Like, it's always in the background. It's always in the back of my head, whether I like it or not. But it's just the way it is. But I'm trying to distance myself from that, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job at it. But sometimes it's a bit annoying.
Why would you want to distance yourself from that?
Well, I just want to distance myself from that mentality. That you've seen it so often in video games that girls are not as good as the guys, and I don't want to think that. I don't want to have that pressure on me that like I need to do good because like I need to prove myself. Why do I need to prove myself?
You don't want it to be your identity, right?
No,
the whole point of it is to just normalize. Yeah. So if you stress it too much, it's not really normalizing because it's a stress, not a stressor, but it's if you make it too much of a big deal, then it doesn't become normal.
Yeah, and that's exactly it. I was like, these guys don't have anything to prove to me. I don't have anything to prove to them either. We're all just here to play the game, and if I whiff, I whiff. If I clutch it, I clutch it. It shouldn't be such a big deal that you have women in gaming. That's the only thing. That's the only thing.
I always thought that, like, because I've been gaming for holy shit,
like 20 years,
22 years, 25 years. And like growing up, it was always really funny because like the girls in high school didn't play, and the girls in middle school.
Like, oh yeah, I played Mario, or I played like.
But then you find out, and then you start dating, right? And then I started dating, and then you started finding out. It was like they were playing the whole fucking time. They just didn't they didn't say it, and now I think it's fucking awesome anytime I see it because. We touched upon it before. It's just so much fun. Like I try to get my fiance in all the time, and she's starting to come around where she'll be like, "Just show me a game where like I could kill a bunch of things." You know what I mean? Like that's because she just wants to start getting into it because you realize how much like it is time consuming, but it's only time consuming because about how much fun it is. And if you can find that game for you, then you realize it's just like instead of reading a book, you're playing a game. Instead of doing a puzzle, you're playing a game because it's so. It's just so much fun. It's just, it's like making your own. I always say it's like making your own movies, like especially single player games. So I think it's fucking awesome. But to get away from games for just a second, I have to touch upon one thing.
Yes.
I see a cat tree in the background there. So I'm assuming you have cats.
2 of them.
How many cat butts have made their way into the streams?
Honestly, they are pretty good at that. They just don't come on this desk whatsoever. Like it's happened a couple times, but my camera is angled in a way that they usually will jump here and walk like this, so the butthole is not in the picture. Yeah. But sometimes, especially because one of them is a bit older and he stays upstairs. But my cat Maurice, the all black one, he's a tiny little rascal, and he's always on top of here. When I stream, but so there's the occasional times where he's just like aggressively licking his butthole while I'm streaming, and I'm like, "This is okay. Come on now."
There'll be times where I'm playing games like this, and then all of a sudden, like my cat is like right here, and its tail is like around my face, and I'm like, "You gotta like, I can't do anything." Cats have no. I always love meeting a cat person because I've always thought that cats were. At one point, I had 4 cats, so like I know cats. But they don't give a shit what you're doing.
No.
And my poor cats. I have, again, with the channel point rewards, I have one that's just showing the cat so people can redeem it, and then I have to run around the house trying to find a cat. And then they hate it so much. They're like, "Well, you just put me down." And I'm like, "Here's my cat." And then the cat,
and its legs are going like this because it wants to get down so bad.
And especially Malcolm. Malcolm's the older one. I pick him up, and he doesn't like to be picked up all that much, and he's just like, screaming for me to put him down.
I have like a big 17-pound cat, and he'll come on the desk, and it's like, you might as well not. Like, you can't even see me. He's just a fucking monster of a cat.
It's just a cat straight now.
My parents' cat, one time I was staying at their house and I was playing games on my dad's desk. Have my arms out like, keyboard and mouse kind of thing. She hops up on the desk and she's just like, I'm petting her. She's doing whatever. She is so desperate for attention, I guess, that she literally climbed my arms out like this over the desk. Like there's nothing. I'm not like resting them. She literally climbed up my arm onto my shoulder and then was standing on the back of my shoulder, rubbing her head against mine. I'm like,
wow. Now do that and clutch a 1 versus 3.
I'm like, can I fucking help you? Like, what are you doing right now? And she's just like nonchalantly. I'm like, are you a parrot? Are you a cat?
And then you just hear.
Yeah, she's like crazy in my ear. She's rubbing her head against mine. And like
headset's falling off. You're just like, okay, buddy.
What is going on? This is wild.
Cat people unite. That's all I'm saying. I'm bringing out the cat people. I also love dogs, so all you dog lovers, you can shut the fuck up right now. But cats have a special place in my heart.
So sweet.
I hate people. I hate dog people that are like, fuck cats. It's like, you've never even owned a cat. Get out of my face.
Or they had a cat, or they had one old cat that
was a dick.
That was a dick, but it's like, it's an old cat. Like, a lot of times when cats get old, sometimes they turn into dicks. But you get like a young, cuddly cat, they're great.
Kittens are the best animals on the planet.
They're dope.
Kittens are like when they look in one direction, and then they're fucking gone, and you never see them. And then they look in another direction, and they're fucking gone. And they're just... I've never seen an animal with so much energy like a kitten.
And they get into areas that you never expect either. Like, they'll be in like the tallest area, and you're like, how did you even get up there?
I have a story. We'll end it with this story. So I got kittens a long time ago. God, I'm old. So I got these kittens.
Time to be turned 30, Dave.
When you get kittens, it's like you have to keep your eye on them because they get lost, right? So I see the one kitten, and it's like looking for her brother. And I'm like, where the fuck is he? Did we open the door? Did he get out in the hallway? I was living in an apartment complex at the time. And then all of a sudden you hear... And I look at the fridge, and I go, did we lock him in the fucking freezer? Is he in the freezer?
No.
So I'm opening the doors trying to find this cat. He's not in the refrigerator, but it sounds like he's coming from the refrigerator. The motherfucker went up on top of the cabinets, and for some reason, the apartment complex, they made like a hole, I guess for like ventilation, and he jumped down behind the refrigerator, and we couldn't get him out. I had to like unplug the refrigerator, pull the fridge out, and just like a normal cat, he just like
strutted out.
Yep, just strutted out. Nothing happened.
Hey, how are you?
Pardon me, sir.
Yeah. I was actually like pretty comfortable back there, and like it was nice and dark and cold, but like cool.
Well, yeah, whatever, man. You kind of disturbed my peace there, but cool, I guess.
Yeah. Well, BakeandCake, we really appreciate you being on. I think what you're doing is wonderful. I hope one day you can become the greatest Valorant player that ever existed, and we'll see you on some LAN tournament in what normally they're in like North Carolina for some reason. So hopefully one day we see you in North Carolina just killing it in Valorant. Good luck to everything that you do in your stream. We all wish you the best of success. But to kind of wrap it up, we'll give you a little bit of time to just, where can people find you? Where can they watch you? And then we'll wrap it up from there.
Well, thank you so much for having me today. People can find me on Twitch at BakeandCake with an underscore at the end. One day I'll get rid of the underscore.
Isn't that the worst? Oh,
the BakeandCake account is not even active. And so I'm like, okay. And I messaged them a couple times. I was like, hey. Can I get the name? And they never got back to me. So I was like, okay, cool. But anyways, besides that, I am on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. So, it's all everywhere. If you type BakeandCake, you can find me there. If you want all the links, they are all linked to my Twitch. So that is, I would say, the safest way to find everything. And yeah.
You will also see all of the links in the description. I'll drop all of your links in the description so it's easy to find where you're at.
Amazing.
But again, thank you so much for being on. And we look forward to seeing your career kind of just increase from here. And good luck with everything.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
And that was our interview with BakeandCake. Guys, just to kind of I guess bring it, because I love every interview that we do, right? And it's just, I don't want to keep harping on the same thing, but it's amazing, having this podcast and kind of having an idea of what we wanted to do and starting to see it really flesh out with all these great content creators and these great streamers and really getting to know their story. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think, if we just keep going from here, Patty's going to bring it up now, but if you're a content creator or streamer and you want to come on, man, we really appreciate you being on. And this is for you, man. This is just as much for you as it is for us. So we really appreciate it. But
it's also crazy, quick on what Dave said, it's also crazy that we meet so many people that have so many different, awesome goals to achieve, and we all have the same passion at the end of the day. It's just gaming. And you meet a lot of cool people that way.
And now we'll end the episode with some Patty plugs.
Hit us up on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at DFreaks and Geeks. 3 replacing the E in DFreak. And yeah, like Davey said, if you're a content creator out there and you like what we do, hit us up, or we'll probably hit you up, honestly, because Dave is a monster on Twitter, apparently. And yeah, rate and review us. iTunes, whatever. Fucking 5 stars, fucker.
We're on every podcast platform, so wherever you listen, we don't care.
I haven't said that in 8 weeks. Actually, probably more than that.
We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Later.